Did I just get a notification from my own live stream? What? Yeah, welcome. This is going to be episode number 1. I don't really know how I'm going to do this, but I guess we'll just talk about whatever. I mean, I don't really have a studio right now. I need to make one. I need to get off my lazy ass and get the materials and make one for a change. Let's see. Talk about sports, I guess. How about my Boston Celtics getting pretty much manhandled by the Detroit Pistons, who are looking strong this year? Of course, the Celtics have another game against the Miami Heat, who are about average, coming in at 14-12. And how about the Pacers, man? They're on the struggle bus, aren't they? The Hornets, how are they doing? I haven't really followed them much lately. 8-18, about what you'd expect. And then Shedeur Sanders, how about that? I want to know where all the Shedeur meat riders are today or yesterday, because I have yet to see any of them. But, you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. Looking at the playoff picture, my Buffalo Bills, that was a huge win on Sunday in New England. To get that win, Josh Allen, once again, comes up clutch. Drake May is a great quarterback. I mean, the Patriots, they're spoiled when it comes to quarterbacks. I mean, with Drew Bledsoe, Tony Eason was solid in his own right. Now Drake May. Mac Jones was good his rookie year, but then he fell off a cliff. Not sure what happened there. You know who's really falling off a cliff? How about them Chiefs? But yeah, joking aside, terrible injury for Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are they cooked? Well, this year they're cooked. But are they cooked long term? It's too early to tell. I mean, I think Travis Kelce's done. I mean, he's 37 years old? I mean, that's for a tight end. That's tough. The Chargers and the Broncos, I think the Broncos are going to end up winning the AFC West. The Raiders, not even worth talking about. I mean, they're just... I think they may be the worst team on the planet, the worst football team on the planet, the freaking Raiders. There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL this year. I mean, the NFC South is... Man. The NFC South, I'm halfway convinced, could lose to... I don't know where I was going with that. The NFC East is looking pretty not so good. The Eagles are 9-5. So it's not looking good for them. The NFC North, I believe the Bears are going to win it if all goes according to plan. And the Lions, how about that? They're probably going to miss the playoffs. Shout out to my uncle, who's a big-time Lions fan. The Packers, they're probably... I don't think they're going to top the Bears, but, I mean, anything can happen. The NFC West is an interesting case. I believe it's going to come down to the Rams and the Seahawks, but don't discount the Niners. They could surprise many. The Cardinals are just... They're such an unserious football team. I mean, the drama with Kyler Murray, I mean, it's what you come to expect, I guess, with an unserious football team. So, moving on. Motorsports news. Welcome to the stream. So as y'all know, Lando Norris won the World Championship in F1 by the skin of his teeth. Ferrari tried to go into a choke job, but Lando was just able to hang on. Unfortunately for me, as a Max Verstappen and Red Bull fan, but congratulations to McLaren, Zach Brown, McLaren Motorsports, and all the fans. And I believe Lando is the first British driver to win a championship since Lewis Hamilton. However long ago Lewis's last title came. Not a fan of him, but I gotta be neutral when I do these things. Let's see, what else can we talk about? College football. Looking at the college football playoff. The bracket was set. A lot of people weren't very happy with it. Frankly, look, I'm a Tennessee fan. Tennessee had no business being in the playoffs. They were mediocre at best this year. I thought Joey had a good year. He was just super inconsistent. And the turnovers really, really, really killed this season for us. I mean, you look in the Alabama game. There was a 2-touchdown differential. You had the pick six that Joey threw. I mean, it was a terrible throw. And then I believe a fumble, if I'm not mistaken, which Alabama ran all the way back for a touchdown, of course. The turnovers really killed this season. And, of course, the Georgia game, Max Gilbert misses that field goal. It was a high-pressure moment, and then, of course, I mean, it was just, wasn't meant to be for the Volunteers this year. And that's just how it goes sometimes. Now I'm going to be doing my prediction for the college football playoff. Round 1, Oklahoma has historically owned Alabama. I believe it's a 3-2 and 1 tie difference. I got Oklahoma winning. I got Oklahoma sending the Crimson Tide home, a one and done. Further questioning Kalen DeBoer. Then James Madison, I think they get just utterly destroyed by Oregon. I mean, come on. So Oklahoma will take on Indiana. Oregon takes on Texas Tech. Man, who would have thought Texas Tech would be in the playoffs? But all that money. I got Miami beating Texas A&M. I don't think it's necessarily close. I mean, Marcel Reed, he's super inconsistent. So yeah, there's with that. Texas A&M, Miami will take on Ohio State. Ole Miss should handle Tulane. They played earlier this year, and it wasn't close. Ole Miss will take on Georgia, and Miami will take on Ohio State. I think Georgia is going to beat Ole Miss again. I mean, look, I get it was close earlier in the year, but, Turncoat Kiffin leaving Ole Miss is leaving them with questions about the head coach. So give me Georgia, and I think Georgia wins this one handily. I think they win by a few possessions, and I think Miami keeps it close, but Ohio State ultimately prevails. They take on Georgia, and now we move to the next round. I got Oregon winning a very close game against Texas Tech. I think it's a very close game. I think it comes down to a last-second field goal kind of deal, but Oregon will move on. And I got Indiana beating Oklahoma. I don't think it's that close, honestly, because Indiana has really beaten everyone they've played handily, and Oklahoma is a very inconsistent club. I mean, you look, there's a lot of games that they've really, really, really struggled in. They were lucky to beat LSU. They were lucky to beat a pretty mediocre Michigan team. Of course, we all heard the news with Sharon Moore. I'm not going to go into that. As for this round, the final championship, I'm losing track. I think it's going to come down to Georgia and Indiana, and the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm sorry, Indiana fans. I predict the Georgia Bulldogs will win the college football championship. It's going to be a close game, but Georgia ultimately beats Indiana. I think it's going to be somewhere along the lines of 31-24, something like that. So that's my college football prediction. So yeah. Man, that was a lot of talking. And as for NASCAR news, other than Arby's sponsoring Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Junior Motorsports entry, nothing really ongoing. I mean, obviously the whole court case, but that was settled. I've already touched on that. Really, yeah, nothing of note, at least in motorsports. Excuse me. Okie dokie. IndyCar. Yeah, again, nothing really major. So yeah, I believe that concludes the sports segment. Hold on, y'all. We're going to move on to the political segment. Obviously, the shooting in Australia, a terrible deal, and it really highlights diversity ain't our strength. Ultimately disproving leftists' radical beliefs. Look, this is going to hurt some people's feelings. Some cultures are just naturally superior and inferior to each other. You look at European culture, the cleanliness, the ability to put God first. Look, it's going to offend people, but at the end of the day, it's reality. I mean, you look at that Indian thing where those Indians in that town do. I mean, they throw crap at each other. They bathe in it. I mean, now, look, I get European culture is under attack. I get it. And there's a reason it's under attack. Because these global liberal elites are doing everything in their power to erase it so they can fulfill their ultimate goal. A one-world government. A one-world idiocracy. Now, the problem with that, now, I'm praying every day they don't accomplish it. I'm praying every day Europeans, Australians, New Zealanders, Canadians, and us Americans, we all wake up. Because if they succeed, and again, I'm praying they don't, you know what's going to happen? This one world idiocracy ain't going to work because look who's going to be left. It's going to be them and criminals. And I know this is a stupid question, and it should be obvious, but when do criminals follow the law? Hold on, y'all. I got a text real quick. When do criminals follow the law? They don't. And it highlights that shooting in Australia. Australia and the Australian Marxist, far-left, retarded dictator, Anthony Albanese, is so adamant on saying how dangerous guns are and how dangerous people are and how they gotta take away guns, take away everything. Do you really think disarming the people is going to prevent criminals from managing to get their hands on guns? No. Australia knows that, and every country on earth knows that. That shooter was a Muslim terrorist. How do you think he got his hands on a firearm? Through the smuggling process that the Qatari government and the Muslim Brotherhood funds. The Muslim Brotherhood smuggles in firearms to all these countries, and the Qatari government pays off the country they're smuggling it in to keep them quiet, to not make them comment on it. But the thing that most pissed me off was those cops cowering like dogs. And it's so often that we the people have to step in and risk getting ourselves hurt, while those pussy cops don't have the balls to intervene They're like, oh, I gotta hide behind the car. Oh, I'm so scared. That's what happens when you hire a bunch of women and a bunch of emasculated men to protect the people. And look, I mean this with all due respect. Hiring women to be police is a bad idea. I don't get there's some badass women out there. Tulsi Gabbard is the embodiment of that. But there's only one Tulsi Gabbard. Kristi Noem is the definition of a baddie. But there's only one Kristi Noem. And to my knowledge, that isn't her specialty. When you hire protection of the people, you want to hire masculine, fierce, well-built men to protect the people. What happens when you hire a bunch of scrawny, old women, men who don't even know basic health? What happens when you do that? What you saw in Australia happens. That's what happens. And look, I'm very... Let me be crystal clear here. I've made videos criticizing the Israeli government and Jewish elites. Not the Jewish people. Not hardworking, everyday Israelis. I absolutely respect the hardworking Jewish communities, and I especially respect the Jewish communities who respect us Christians. I got eternal respect for them. So this idea that I hate Jews is just nonsense. My step-grandfather was a Jew. So, I mean, it's just, it's ironic how liberals and leftists will tell us not to generalize, yet when us on the right say we don't like something, they just assume we don't like all of what we're talking about. It's kind of ironic, and it really, really highlights the utter hypocrisy that those on the left speak of. Welcome, viewer. I hope you're doing excellent this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are. We're discussing the hypocrisy that leftism continues to show. When, like the crap in Nigeria, those Muslims continue to attack Christians and Jewish communities. Absolute crickets from these protesters. When Brenton Tarrant shot up Christ Church Mosque, you would think Brenton was the devil with how the media was portraying him. Now, that's not me condoning Brenton's actions, because, look, I don't like Muslims. I don't like that. But I don't believe violence to that degree is ever the answer. But whenever there's a terrorist attack, like when they set Notre Dame on fire, Notre Dame Church in France, I couldn't find one article on the mainstream that said it was done by a Muslim, when it was. It was at 100% a Muslims that set it on fire. And according to the UN, Muslims are not only good people that we should welcome in with open arms, they're the religion of peace. If anyone of the UN is watching this, I want you to open up a Quran. Now, I've never read a Quran because I have no reason to. It's pretty much a joke book. All of Islam is a joke to me. Muhammad's a lying SOB that is in hell. He's a blasphemous, you know what? He's a terrorist, a rapist, and he forced an infant to marry and consummate the marriage with him. He's a literal child rapist. So this is where the whole, oh, not all Muslims are bad argument goes away. When you realize who they are all following. And when you realize us Christians are the most compassionate, loving, welcoming individuals. If you go to a Muslim country, they will kill you. They will chop your head off. If you go to India, they will kill you if you don't bow to their gods. If you go to Thailand, you will get some unfriendly glances if you don't adhere to Buddhist teachings. If you go to North Korea or China, they will imprison you, torture you, and probably kill you if you speak of, Jesus. If you speak against, if you come to a church and you're not a Christian, not only will we welcome you, we will feed you, and we will tell you just how much we respect you. And yet the media villainizes us. In spite of all of that, we get the short end of the stick. And Muslims continue to have everything handed to them on a platter. And there's a reason it's like this. When you realize the sheer amount that the Qatari government, not just Qatar, but Bahrain, Iran, Saudi Arabia, all these places, when you consider, it's no secret. Money talks. Money talks louder than, words and propaganda. You go to Paris, you go to London, you see more Browns than actual French and British people. It's terrible. And as an individual who has Northern English and German ancestral roots, well, German, Polish, maternally, but it breaks my heart, man, to see once global giants crumble like this. You import the third world, you become the third world. You think letting in a bunch of Somalians and Pakistanis is going to change them? No. They ain't going to assimilate. They're going to force you to assimilate. And they're going to come in, and they're going to kill all the men, rape all the women, and control the streets. And all the cucks in the government are too afraid to say anything about it. Look at the dictator, Macron. Emmanuel Macron is a dictator. France has not had one election since 2017. I think it's time for another revolution, my French brethren and sisters. It's time to take back your country and get rid of this Marxist, communist crap that is destroying your country. Likewise to my brethren and sisters all over North and Western Europe. My opinion on Viktor Orban, I think he's a good leader. Though I worry he's a little too close in the EU sphere. Karol Nawrocki, the new president of Poland, of course, Andrzej Duda, was ultimately a sellout to the third world. Nawrocki, I think he has potential. God bless the people of Hungary and Poland. You have my eternal respect. And to the people in Western and Northern Europe who don't want a bunch of Browns from the third world invading your country, I salute you. I absolutely salute y'all. And as an American who lives in a state that's run by a radical Democrat who's not even from this state, who continues to just continue the work of the past governor, I'm on the same boat. Look, Donald Trump, I'm 50-50 on him. I think he's done some good things. I don't think he's doing enough. It's just, it's a cruel world, I understand. And it's only going to get worse, which is why my closing segment is going to be why we should trust in Jesus. He's the authority of all. He is the only way. He is the only way to obtain pure joy. No money, no fame, nothing else can obtain as true joy, peace, and happiness as our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, can provide. He is the authority of all. Whether you want to believe it or not, atheists, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, Scientologists, He is. And my message to atheists who are so adamant on saying, there's not enough evidence, there's no proof, stop forcing your crap in my face. We're not forcing our beliefs in your face. We're trying to help you see the truth. And with this closing segment, I hope you all enjoyed. Deus Vult. God will. Stay safe with their brothers and sisters. I will see